Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Finding investment projects topped the meeting of Omani and Lithuania businessmen, coinciding with signing of IT agreements between both countries. The State Council forwards to His Majesty the Sultan draft amendments of some rules of traffic law. His Excellency the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth says that the Sultanate during the last 4 years achieved an increase exceeding 40% in fish production. And the Sultan condemns Daesh group's killing of the Jordanian pilot hostage by the strongest expressions. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. The Sultanate and Lithuania signed a memorandum to strengthen cooperation in the field of exchange of technologies, information and experiences, besides investment encouragement in information technology. The agreement will also provide for specialists, researchers and technicians to exchange experiences between the two countries, besides organizing joint meetings and technical seminars. Signing of this agreement stemmed from distinctive relations and desire to promote cooperation in information technology based on mutual benefits. Strengthening friendship relations and existing cooperation, besides opening wider horizons for joint cooperation in various spheres, were at the center of talks of His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council, with His Excellency Algirdas Butkevičius, Prime Minister of Lithuania, and his delegation. The Chairman of the State Council also discussed strengthening parliamentary relations and laying a foundation for future cooperation at various levels. He also valued efforts exerted by both sides for opening new tracks of cooperation. After that, he took the guest on a tour of the Council of Oman premises to acquaint with its halls and equipments, which serve at both Shura Council and State Council. Political situation in the region and Sultan's efforts to international diplomatic levels were at the focus of talks of His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, with His Excellency Algirdas Butkevičius, Prime Minister of Lithuania, and his delegation. During the meeting, they discussed ways of developing relations and cooperation in diplomatic fields. Sultan's experience in the fields of roads, transport and communications were at the focus of the meeting of His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Futaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, with His Excellency Algirdas Butkevičius, the Prime Minister of Lithuania, and his delegation. The Minister viewed Sultan's experiment in ports, free zones and airports, in addition to efforts to depend on railway network connections with the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The State Council forwarded to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos draft amendments of some rules of traffic law prior to its issuance, after it was agreed upon with the Shura Council. During the meeting, the State Council office viewed a draft of cooperative insurance law, which was referred to it by the Council of Ministers, along with the report of the Shura Council regarding it. The State Council also emphasized continuation of the special committee discussing the annual report of State's Financial and Administrative Audit Institution for the year 2013. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council. Investment opportunities available in convertible industries between the Sultanate and Lithuania topped businessmen talks of both countries. Further details in the following report by Saif bin Khalfan al-Kindi.
Looking forward to boost closer ties between the Sultanate and Lithuania was the key concept of today's session of delegations between the two friendly countries. The main concept of the delegation was described by Andrius Nikitinas, Lithuanian commercial attaché, who pointed out.
I feel the benefits would be what is the demand. For example, as we understand, Oman import a lot of food, and Lithuania, food-rich country. So it could benefit, by creating the business together in a food industry. So Oman can benefit, to trade with, to take from Lithuania produced food products. Vice versa, Lithuania has no mineral resources at all, and Omanis, of course, are very rich in oil and gas. So Lithuania also can benefit, trading with the Omanis in the oil and gas industry.
The delegation gathered both countries' businessmen and women, presided over by His Excellency Algirdas Butikevičius, Prime Minister of Lithuania, and His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud As-Sunedi, the Minister of Commerce and Industry. During the delegation, it was mentioned that Lithuania has one of the most rapidly growing economy, particularly after the year 2015, that marks Lithuania's accession to the Eurozone, with more expectation to bring financial security and greater incentives for foreign investment, as Mr. Prime Minister declared today.
Lithuania is a very attractive location for transport and logistics projects due to its extremely convenient position in the EU. High-quality manufacturing, deep technical expertise, and well-educated workforce is one of the most important benefits of investment environment in Lithuania.
On the other hand, the Sultanate presented the opportunities available for investment in several fields, particularly at the Dokkum Special Economic Zone and the facilities provided to investors.
Also, Omanis is developing IT sector. Lithuania is one of the leaders in a Europe region with IT. So I think the knowledge exchange could be also benefits for both countries. What we're expecting from additionally from education system, probably we'll be sending some Omanis or students to Lithuania, and vice versa. Some Lithuanians will come to study to Oman to.
Moreover, during the discussion, it was also mentioned that many sectors could be targeted for investment, such as food processing, textile, IT industry, life science, biotechnology, wooden and chemical products. Lithuania, which has a territory of 65,300 square kilometers with 2.9 million population, had an increase in the GDP growth of about 2.9% in the year 2014. It was also mentioned that food processing adds to the economy about 4.7% of gross value added to the economy, and 45% of exported products. That sector gives jobs opportunities to more than 38,000 employees. The delegation of the Sultanate and Lithuanian businessmen who are highly interested in partnership with Omani counterparts came as part of strengthening ties and collaboration between the two countries. Saif Al-Kindi for English News, Al-Bustan Palace Hotel, Muscat.
The Ministry of Interior announced that the period of presenting candidacy applications for the Shura Council membership for the 8th term will end tomorrow, Thursday, at the end of the official duty, emphasizing that the officers of the Excellencies, the Walis, will not receive any applications after this specified time. The Ministry called upon desirous citizens for Shura Council membership candidacy for the 8th term, whom they met candidacy conditions of the membership, to present the applications quickly to the officers of the Walis in each wilaya wishing to represent before the closing of application handling in after filling a form prepared for that which is available at the Walis offices. The Minister of the Interior started on the 18th of January to receive candidacy applications to the 8th term Shura Council membership elections. Article number 37 of Election Law of Shura Council members states that the Ministry of Interior authorized to receive candidacy applications, to check and coordinate towards them with bodies concerned, and to prepare a list of candidates named whose applications were approved by these bodies and to present it to the main committee. Okay. His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Jafar Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, in an exclusive statement to Oman Radio and Television, stated that the Sultanate during the last 4 years achieved an increase exceeding 40% in the fish production in terms of quantity, value and exportation. He clarified that the fish production quantities in 2011 reached about 175,000 tons, while in 2014 the quantities exceeded 210,000 tons. He added that the ministry is working to benefit from fisheries wealth so as to complete infrastructures such as ports in addition to other services. The Sultanate condemned Daesh group's killing of the Jordanian pilot hostage, Muad al-Kasasbah. The condemnation came in a statement by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, stating that with deep effect and profound sadness, the Sultanate of Oman received the news, as it denounces by the strongest expressions this criminal act, which revealed deep hatred and organized crime against all Muslims and contradicts with monotheistic legislations and sacred of human soul. The Sultan once again emphasizes the importance of collaboration of efforts by the international community to combat terrorism and to dry up its sources, and to express its solidarity with the government of the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and the martyrs' family. Still to come on News Bulletin. An agreement of supporting investment projects for Sohar Majlis As-Salam clubs was signed in the Wilayat of Sohar. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. Reviewing the good relations and the existing cooperation fields between the Sultanate and Iran topped the discussions of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Said bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, with His Excellency Ali Akbar Sibayweh, Ambassador of Iran accredited to the Sultanate. During the meeting, a number of issues of common concern were reviewed. Tender board awarded a number of projects and additional works for the development projects in various fields with a total value of more than 2 million Omani riyals. The most important projects awarded were represented in renewing the periodical maintenance services agreement, providing parts of the medical devices related to the Ministry of Health, the additional works for the project of establishing additional pier at the public goods station, and liquid materials dock for Salalah methanol in Salalah port in the Governorate of Dhofar, as well as additional works of water supply projects to the mental diseases hospital at Al-Masarah in the Wilayat of Al-Amarat. His Excellency Dr. Rashid bin Al-Safi bin Khamis Al-Huraybi, Chairman of the Tender Board, headed the meeting. The Industrial Day Workshop 2015 discussed the role of industry sector in terms of decrease in oil prices and Omanization. It also reviewed topics related to industrial strategy and government incentives related to this sector. The participants in the workshop stressed on the contribution of industry sector in local production during the upcoming period. They also pointed out the significance of finding a hotline as well as an industrialist association to work on solving a number of challenges facing industrial institutions. The Directorate General of the Royal Hospital, represented in National Oncology Center, celebrated World Cancer Day The ceremony witnessed various activities, including clinics for early examination of cervix, breast, blood pressure and sugar level in the body. The employees of the center were also honored, marking the 10th anniversary since its establishment. A press conference in Muscat was held by Sharqiya University to highlight its strategic plan for the period 2014 to 2020. The plan focused on the university administration and affairs, in addition to presenting innovative education programs as well as benefiting from modern educational technologies. The strategy came to shed light on researches and scholarships, besides knowledge development and supporting students on their way to the labor market through various programs. Municipal Council in the Governorate of North Sharqiya discussed supporting agriculture sector in the wilayas of the governorates and increasing crossing and access of Sharqiya Expressway Bit Sor. The Council on its second meeting also discussed to support farmers and increase forages in the wilayas of the governorates. It also reviewed the minutes of the meeting of the Municipal Council in the wilaya, which is related to development and services aspects. An agreement of supporting investment projects for Sohar Majlis As-Salam clubs was signed today in the Wilayat of Sohar in the Governorate of North Bulletin. The agreement was signed between the three clubs and Orpik and Sohar Aluminium. His Excellency Sheikh Saad bin Mohammed Al-Saadi, Minister of Sports Affairs, presided over the signing ceremony. The agreement, which amounted to 700,000 Omani Riyals, aimed to finance investment buildings for these clubs and to support various sports and cultural activities. And now for the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate, with chances of low clouds and fog in the Governorate of South Sharqiya and the coastal areas overlooking Sea of Oman. Winds will be north to south easterly light to moderate, and seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Finding investment projects topped the meeting of Omani and Lithuania businessmen, coinciding with signing of IT agreements between both countries. The State Council forwards to His Majesty the Sultan draft amendments of some rules of traffic law. His Excellency, the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth, says that the Sultanate during the last 4 years achieved an increase exceeding 40% in fish production. And the Sultanate condemned Daesh group's killing of the Jordanian pilot hostage by the strongest expressions. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, good night.